If I was sitting there as the Prime Minister and I was told something has multiple issues that can't be resolved and is undeliverable as planned, however, I'm being asked to sign off another £36 billion in the future on spending money, I would say I can spend that money on a lot better things. I would have cancelled it. There is a report every year, which hardly anybody reads, from the Infrastructure and Projects Authority, which hardly anybody's ever heard of.
I think I've actually read this.
And you wrote a very good column about it.
But you're a rare case, and you probably got to page 54, but not many people did. And on page 54, it came out at the end of July. So it's the list of all the hundreds of infrastructure projects in the country. HS2 coded red. Then you look at the key. Red means undeliverable. A project with multiple issues that cannot and will not be resolved. And if I was sitting there as the Prime Minister and I was told something has multiple issues that can't be resolved and is undeliverable as planned, however, I'm being asked to sign off another £36 billion in the future on spending money, I would say I can spend that money on a lot better things than an undeliverable project. And so, you know, like the tram, because that's one of the projects, a tram system for Leeds and West Yorkshire, and a mainline station in Rotherham, can you believe, in my original hometown. You'd actually be able to get to London from Rotherham. We never had that in the last 50 years. So, yes, I think he took the right decision.
Pfizer.
I wouldn't have cancelled it at this point, but let me qualify that a bit. About 10 years ago, I was involved at looking at HS2, kind of re-evaluating it as an infrastructure project. And absolutely, it is the case that a lot of the money needed in the northern towns is internal, and that there were lots of issues about how the decision was made on HS2. That said, I think and also that HS2 could end up benefiting London more than other places. And so when we looked at other countries around the world, like France, for instance, Lyon to Paris, actually Lyon had benefited less than Paris. So there's a way that this could end up actually just being better for London, which, you know, doesn't help regional inequalities. So I would have done it differently, started from the north coming down. I think at this point to cancel it when so much money has gone into it, and symbolically, us saying these big infrastructure projects are a no-go for our country and what that says to the rest of the world. I wouldn't have made that decision 10 years ago, but now I think it was a mistake. I think it is a mistake to cancel it. And it's just, you know, the chaos, the message it sends to the north, it's just not a good look at all.
I just don't know. Everyone seems to be absolutely certain in their opinion on this on either side. And I mean, I think that it's been such a badly run project. It has demonstrated that building a high-speed railway in this country, apparently it takes 10 times as much money per metre of track as in other European countries, which is insane. It's been extremely politicised. And it's just, in 2019, the chairman and vice chairman of HS2 wrote different reports. Also one saying, yes, let's go ahead with this thing. The other saying, no, let's not go ahead with this thing, and you wouldn't show me the documents, you unprintable word. I mean, so it's just been a mess. It's been a mess throughout. I mean, so I probably would have gone ahead with it, but purely out of cowardice. Purely because it's already happening, and I wouldn't want to brave the reaction in the north.
Right. So you're living proof of Rishi Sunak's argument, basically. So let me ask all of you then, who wants to come in on this question and dispute the premise of the question if you'd like. Why, oh why, are we so terrible at big infrastructure projects? Who wants to answer that question?
Well, that's what I asked myself when I read that report a couple of months ago. And it is something to do with the way, in this country, we think of a policy, we think of a bright policy in government, and we decide to go ahead with it. And then we say, right, somebody else, will form a separate company, HS2, you go off and do it. And come back occasionally and tell us how you're getting on. From then on, the people who are doing it have an incentive not to bring to the surface, not to bring back to you, all the problems that they are encountering. Right, don't tell the government that yet, because maybe we'll find a way through it. And by the time they come back for a discussion, the whole thing's gone up by another £10 billion. Whereas, if you think of what happened on the, where this country did really well, which was on the vaccine breakthroughs in COVID, that was get rid of that way of doing it. The policy and the delivery is combined in one group of people who can take risks together and discuss immediately the problems together. And they were less risk averse, but as a result, they spent the money much more effectively. So this needs a powerful board of people to oversee a project like that, with a chief executive who is in charge throughout and whose career is made or ended by their success in that project. Because, you know, you never know. You can never work out whose fault it was. They've always moved on. I know the Department of Transport told us this. No, HS2 said that. No, the chairman said one thing and the vice chairman said the other thing. You need a single person in charge, and they can be mayor of multiple cities if they do well, and they're never heard of again if they do badly.